Hello. Well, I just want to welcome you to this broadcast. Today, I want to discuss what I have termed "It is never too late to start over," and I'm just going to give you the short history of a man that I've read about, and which I'm sure that after hearing this, you will also be convinced that it is never too late, really. So long as there is life and there is health and strength, anybody can start all over again. I am a living witness, really. In fact, not just a living witness, I'm a living testimony. But my end will come sometime as I'm putting them together right now. However, about this man I'm going to talk to you about, at the age of 5 years, his father died. And at his 16 years, he quit schooling, couldn't continue. By the time he was 17, he had lost four jobs. Now, between 18 and 22 years of age, he was a railway worker. Then somewhere along the line at 23, he joined the army and he couldn't continue. Somewhere again, he applied to go to law school and was rejected because he didn't have the requisite qualification. Then he became an insurance salesperson. And because he couldn't do cold calls, he failed. He became a father when he was 19, but by the age of 22, his wife left him with their children because he couldn't hold on to a job and he couldn't provide for his family. He went ahead to become a cook and a dishwasher in a small cafe. And so, because he had some money, his wife came back. And that was what he was doing until he came to the age of 65. Then he retired. At 65, he was broke. He had nothing except a $105 check, which he got as his retirement benefit. So one of those days, he sat out by himself and he thought to himself, how could he continue living? That for 65 years he has wasted his life and there is nothing to write him about. His kids have nothing to look up to him for. His wife is always deriding him, insulting him, calling him names, and in fact calling him a failure. So he decided to quit life, but he decided to commit suicide and say it wasn't worth living anymore. He had failed so much, he didn't know whether he was ever going to recover. He took a pen and paper and went to under a tree, sat down under a tree. He was writing why he had failed in his 65 years. So it took him some time, almost an hour, to finish the write-up. And when he finished, he looked at it again and realized that the thing he had done best in his life was to cook. That was what gave him the greatest joy, and that was where he retired from, even at 65. So he looked at what he had in his hand, a $105 check. He decided he was going to borrow $87 cash and place the check as a guarantee. And with that $87, he bought some chicken, made his own recipe, fried up the chicken, and went from door to door in his neighborhood. In his own neighborhood, he went from, people knew him, people knew he was doing this, was doing that. He was not ashamed to go from one door to another door in his own neighborhood. He didn't run away from where he was living. Remember, he was 65 years old and he wanted to commit suicide. However, the chicken he was frying found favor. People now started placing order for his chicken. He had more cash to buy more chicken. His wife joined him in the business. By the time you knew it, his kids have joined in the business. They had extended their borders. They now not only were supplying door to door in their own locality, they had also gone beyond their locality. By the time you knew it, people were spreading how tasty and how sumptuous the chicken fried by this man were. And so his business started to boom. Before you knew it, he opened a shop. And from one shop to another shop, from one state in the US to another state in the US. And within a twinkle of an eye, this man became a millionaire. I know most of you would have heard that story. The name of that man was Colonel Sanders. He lived from 1890 to 1980. By the time Colonel Sanders died in 1980, he was a billionaire. He's the one that founded the Kentucky Fried Chicken. And KFC is a worldwide franchise. their recipe is out of this world. That was a man who at 65 wanted to commit suicide. But at 80, when he was a bit advanced in age, he died a billionaire. So it is never too late. Don't mind what the world is telling you. Your mates have done this, your mates have done that, your mates have achieved this, your mates have achieved that. I want to remind you that when God was sending you into this world, He never sent you with any mate. You came here, you met people. They are your mates by age. They may not be your mates spiritually. They may not be your mates physically. They may not be your mates socially. Age mates do not translate to social mates. There are people who are young but who associate with older persons. There are men who are old who associate with white elderly persons, and so on and so forth. So don't mind what the world is saying. Mind what God is telling you. If there's anything you have learned how to do, put that thing into use. That is your own talent from God. Don't allow it to go to waste. Because Sanders found out that he knew how to cook. And he went out and started frying chicken with his own homemade recipe. He didn't have to buy a recipe from anybody. And within a short period of time, he became a millionaire from frying chicken. Not only did he become a millionaire, he spread a franchise that has gone around the world, and he became a billionaire. It is never too late to start all over. Take it from me. Thank you for listening.